So we got another question here. This is a good one. They're all good, but I particularly like this one. Noticed an alert in my ConfigMgr admin node that my database was out of space, up to 500 gigs on January 3rd. Luckily, had a responsive VMware guy that could extend disk quickly. No obvious issues noticed after that. Any suggestions on things to check to make sure we're good?
The most common reason for a disk growing beyond everything or a database growing beyond everything with config manager is usually that the reporting services database is configured for full recovery instead of simple recovery. It's one of those default settings that turn out to be not great. I had a log file that was like a terabyte because I forgot that in one of my labs. So I would check that one first, because if that's the case, you can just truncate it and you're good. You're back in business and change that. I can actually bring it up and show. I redid all my firewalls the other day here, so fresh version of pfSense everywhere, but I didn't fully complete it, so I have to show it on a different way. Here. I usually use the remote desktop manager, but since I don't have a route yet to all of these servers, I cannot use it for all of them. I got like halfway done last night. But yeah.
Nothing like a couple of late nights upgrading and messing with infrastructure.
Yep.
And that wasn't even sarcasm. It actually just happens to be one of my favorite things.
Yeah, I managed to burn one of my PCI Express slots by slightly misaligning a storage card also during the holidays. I was mad. It's only that port, but it was annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have to replace the motherboard to fix it. There's no patch for smoke coming out of a port.
But that's not good.
No, databases. While we're waiting for this one, Andrew, do you remember who blogged about the growing issue that happened last year that I know you were heavily involved with also in one of the environments we work with?
That is a great question. Yes. I believe
But
I do.
anywho,
I'll find it.
go to properties of your report server, check options, and make sure that the recovery model is set to simple. That's where I would start. And of course, you can just check the log files of that one, or just right click and the report and, disk usage. And it will tell you if you have a terabyte of data or not. But the log files shouldn't be that large for this, but it can be super large if it happens. So maybe there.
There it is. I found it. It was Rudy Bankson. I couldn't find the blog post, though.
You have it up on your screen?
I do now, yes.
All right, let me flip over to that one. Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, this was a table was growing at 1 gig per minute. And I didn't hear too much about this, but at least maybe a half a dozen people or so on Twitter posted about it. I ran into it. It was not fun.
Wasn't that like one of those Sunday 5 a.m. morning calls?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't great. And that's one of those, like, I remember even reaching out to you in the morning, which I don't like to do. I don't like to ask you to help me troubleshoot, but that required it. So yeah, it was basically log data that was filling it up, and you had to run this stored procedure here to clear it out. And I would say here too, Rudy's got the disclosure here. it's not supported unless Microsoft tells you to do it.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
So long story, call support.
Yeah.
Possibly reference this.
Yep. And I believe this was a bug that was then later fixed, but yeah, thank you for the reminder, Johan. I'll make sure that this link gets posted. Just it is another thing to check. And then just general, that's specific to the database itself, but just general disk space monitoring, through, if you've got Nagios or PRTG or whatever your monitoring tool is, um, keep an eye out there.
Scam, mom.
Yeah, exactly.